right, ladies and gentlemen, we are live, and this isn't our usual locker room show time, but it's going to work tonight because we got a great guest that's going to bring us home, baby. I am excited because this gentleman went to the same school that I went to. A lot more people know him than know Coach Wood, but I'm excited because this is a buff that we have in the locker room show tonight. We're going to talk some football, you guys. So if that's what you're about, you're in the right spot. Before we get started with tonight's show, let me introduce the man that holds me down on the other side of the defense, none other than the great Q, the Guru. What's going on, Guru?
Man, what's going on, my man? I had to take a hiatus last week, so I'm back. And man, we got a good show, man. We always got some sauce, so let's get it going. I don't stretch.
Okay. All right. You see, Guru got his red cup, so you know he's ready to go in the locker room show. But tonight, you guys, is about the gentleman that you see in the middle of the screen. I mean, for most people, he does not need an introduction, you guys. This is a Colorado Buffs legend, quarterback, number 14, led the team to high win totals at CU, went on to be drafted by the Philadelphia Eagles, you guys. He was so good that they said, hey, we're going to keep you here for 9 years. So he played for the Eagles and then decided to get into coaching. He comes from a football legacy family. I mean, you talk about certain families as royalty in the football industry, and the Detmers are at the top of the list. So we are excited about tonight's show. If you can't tell, I see some people already coming in the chat, so we're going to rock and roll with you guys in a second. But this is none other than the great Koy Detmer. What's going on, Koy?
Not a lot, man. I really appreciate y'all having me on and appreciate the kind words. but yeah, we're just having fun down here in Texas.
That's fact.
Yep.
Yes, indeed. So we are pumped up to have Koy on. And like I said, come on, you guys, football family, his dad, legendary coach in Texas. His brother's got a Heisman on the mantle. Koy was a dog at CU, you guys, and once again had a great career playing at the next level professionally. So this is the treat. Now he's coaching at the high school level. So he's going to give us some insight into recruiting and some of the things that go on with that as well. But let's get into the show. I'm excited about this one, Koy. The lifestyle. Your dad was a coach, longtime coach. Your brother obviously came up before you. When did you decide that you wanted to go all in? Was it out of the crib? When did you say, hey, this is what I'm going to do?
No, so, well, the way we came up is we played everything. And so really the first sports that I really fell in love with was basketball and golf whenever I was younger. And, of course, was playing football and baseball and all those kind of things. But the two sports that I really grabbed onto was basketball and golf. And then, as I was getting into junior high, started to enjoy football and things like that. And I guess, Ty's 5 years older than me. So he started having a lot of success. And so started to kind of see that. And being a younger brother, he kind of raised me, right? Because he's so much older than me. And so I always wanted to be like him. And so whenever I was coming up and he was having success with football, then I started to grab onto that a lot more. But I would say, because we played everything. I would say it was more along my junior, senior year in high school whenever I really started to feel like, okay, football is a path for me.
Okay. And did you ever feel any pressure from dad to make that decision, or was that something that you were able to come to yourself?
Yeah, no, our dad was just awesome that way. Is he wanted everything to come from us and really didn't push nothing on us, not at all. And so his main thing was whatever you do, we want you to have fun with it. And so because you got to enjoy what you do. And so especially when it comes to sports, because it's a game. And so that was his approach to all of those things. And then through that, our opportunities showed themselves, and our path was in front of us and clearly. And so, there really wasn't any pressure like that from him. He just wanted us to go out there and have fun and compete and enjoy the athletic experience.
Wow, that's amazing. Yeah, legendary. I mean, all of you guys coached, and now I know your son is coaching, and he's got some weight on his shoulders. He's at
Oh yeah.
Michigan, and
Yeah.
it's just a family business. I see some people coming into the chat. This is amazing, you guys. I see Marty coming in. He says, "Yay, coach." Another Jay
Hmm.
coming in saying, "My goat." I see you guys. Thank you for joining us tonight. How long are you guys gonna wait? Yeah, we had you waiting, but you're gonna be happy at the end of this show with all of the content we're gonna give you. So we appreciate you guys coming in. Jay says true. We've got hi Avery. We got some people coming in to know each other, looks like. So we appreciate you guys joining us tonight. Hit that subscribe button if this is your first time checking out the Locker Room Show, you guys. But we're getting after it with the great Koy Detmer, you guys. And, when we talk about our next topic, gracias, we got some Spanish coming on in here. So when we talk about our next topic, the priorities for a high school coach, because now you're a coach. You've been on the other side, the player side, so you kind of know what works and doesn't. What would you say, Koy, are the priorities of a high school coach today? Is it to win games? Is that priority? Is it to mentor these kids that are coming up through the ranks? Is it to send kids off to college? Or is it to skill develop? If you had to kind of put these in order as far as what you think a high school coach should prioritize, what would you say, Koy?
Well, I think first and foremost, number one is mentor. We're trying to give these guys some information and tools to, life after high school, life after athletics, and so first and foremost, it's that. And to get them to understand that, if you have those things in order, it's going to allow you to be at your best at whatever you do in athletically. And so for us, it's with football. And so, rule number one, let's be a good person, and so if you're doing that, you're going to be considerate of people around you. You're going to want to work hard for them. You're not going to want to let them down. And so then a lot of things will take care of itself from there. And so for me and for our group, mentor is number one. I think send kids to college, yes, from the standpoint of we want them to get an education. I think when we're talking about send kids to college, I think of it in that way. Now, when we're talking about send them to college athletically, I would put that after develop their skill set, because we need to develop their skills and develop them physically and mentally and all those kind of things, so that if they do get an opportunity to go compete at the next level, that they're ready to prepared and ready to go have success there.
Yeah.
But ultimately, yes, we want to get them to college, get an education, and all those kind of things. And those are things that we talk about. And where that happens really doesn't matter. I mean, yes, you want them to take advantage of the best opportunities they get, but the main thing is get to a spot where you feel good, feel like it's going to allow you to have success and get an education, and so those are a big deal for us. I would say in that order. And then last thing is winning games. And of course, we are, make no mistake, we're ultra competitive, and so we're doing it. We want to win, and so that's a big deal for us. And so, but we feel like you have to have these other things in order in order to win. You know what I mean? If we're going to be the best we can be, we got to have these other things in order so that we can focus on the things that we need to on the field. So those other things have to come first. And then, if we have all that organized and we're prepared and ready to go, then we can go turn it loose and get after it and have fun and go win games.
Wow, I love it right there. And that's a Texas coach, you guys. High school football is important in Texas, and he's not putting winning up at the top, but he's saying it darn sure is important. Guru, you played some big time high school football
Yeah.
in St. Louis. If your kid goes to your alma mater, how would you order these? What are you expecting out of that high school coach?
I'm gonna tell you what, actually, man, my order was literally how Koy had it, man. Like mentoring is, I mean, how long have I been saying this to you? Like, man, the mentoring aspect, your high school coach, man, I promise you, I'll never stop saying this. It's something about the relationship that you develop with your high school coach. You'll call your high school coach before you call your agent, before you call your mom. Something goes down. I mean, I'm talking about if you in the league, you're gonna call your high school coach often enough, but sometimes before you even call your own agent, right? So that is absolutely at the top. I agree in regards to skill development. It's like you have to develop the skills if you do want to get to the next level. So you have to put skill development up under that. In regards to, as he said, physically and mentally being able to get that squared away. And then go back to the list T. And then after that, it's the same thing with, sending kids to college, and then winning games. Now, I will say the more games that you win and the more prominent program that you develop as a coach, and the more prominent program that you come from as a player, that translates directly into getting to school, because more coaches will come, they'll come see what you got. It's a pipeline, right? It's like the IMGs, and that's why they go to the, the schools like DeSoto and Allen and those type of schools, is because it's a pipeline, because they got killers year in and year out, right? So those two are kind of directly correlated with winning games and getting to school.
Okay, no, that's great right there. So these guys were on lock and key as far as how they see things from a high school coach perspective. So it's the mentoring at the top, the skill development, or sending the kids to college if there's also the academic side, and then winning games. That's very interesting. Koy, do you feel like your peers, it's the same for them, or do you kind of look across the sideline and feel like it's a little bit different, the priorities?
No, I really feel like in our area, the coaches that we're around, we have really good coaches down here at the high school level and all that, and so everybody talks about things in really the same way, and so everybody realizes you're a mentor first, and all of those kind of things, and the importance that way. So yeah, no, it's we have a great high school coaches association, the Texas High School Coaches Association, and so everybody goes to the coaching school in the summer and all that, and so when we're interacting, everybody is pretty much on the same page that way.
All right, that's good to hear. That's good to hear, especially out in Texas where you guys are coaching so many kids. We're on to our next topic, you guys, and once again with the great Koy Detmer. I mean, if you didn't watch this man play at Colorado, this part of my decision. They were winning games behind him, which made me decide to go play for the Buffs. But bad man that we're talking to. Sure, I see some of his athletes in the chat. So we thank you guys for joining us. And we definitely see all the comment. And somebody's coming in saying, God, he's cool. Yes, he is, you guys. So appreciate you rocking with us tonight on the Locker Room. So that's somebody trying to get some extra playing time, Coach.
Oh, yeah.
You're trying to get the game right there. So our next topic, you guys, and all the topics are at the bottom ticker. And Guru, I'm going to start off with you because I want Koy to end this one, man. I mean, you played high pressure football at the University of Kansas. You played against the Nebraskas and everybody else, Notre Dame. How did the Guru stay calm on the corner under those big time settings?
You know what? I'm going to tell you what, it kind of a little bit goes back to what I just said in the last segment. because of the program I went to, and I had like the Terrell Fletchers and Ronnie Wards and around these guys that were going to the league and getting drafted out of my high school. Well, all those guys, they'd still come back home and they would train with us at, in the summertime. Right. So at high school, we're training with NFL guys in high school. Right. So the bar was already set when you come out of prominent high school programs, like Skyline and like us in North Shore down here in Houston. Yeah. So it's win on this, like state or nothing. You know what I'm saying? Because the bar is set so high. Right. So when you get in this, by the time you get into college, it's more of a norm. You know what I mean? It's like you've been there, done it. You played in the big games, especially if you're down here from Texas, right? So it's like it's the transition is a lot easier.
Okay, I got you. Koy, I really wanted to talk to you about this topic because you were a quarterback. And we all know it's different for quarterbacks as far as the pressure. I mean, if it was today, you would have probably been making $1 million plus in NIL money. So this is a different deal. You played for Rick Neuheisel, just like I did for a portion of my career. He wasn't always easy on you. I know some of the NFL coaches that you were around weren't always easy on you. What's some advice? What's some advice for these quarterbacks that are coming out and there's a lot riding on their shoulders? How do they stay calm through all of this?
I think a big part of it is, focus on the preparation, and that process. And when you truly understand your offensive system, when you understand what you need to do for execution and all those kind of things, and you're prepared, that leads to confidence and helps you be relaxed, in those pressure situations, and I'll agree with Q that, I had a brother that, sort of paved the way for me. You know what I mean? And so I was staying up there with him at BYU sometimes in the summer, and I'm out there throwing the ball with those college guys, and Steve Young would come out there and throw and all that kind of stuff. Yeah. And so, there was, I was exposed to some of those things to where a lot of that was not a big deal. You know what I mean? And so that exposure really helped me, I think. And then also seeing my brother do it, I just felt like, well, I'm supposed to go do it, and so that was something that I felt like was a big deal for me. In terms of going into games and big games, like I said, a lot comes down to, when you put a lot into your preparation and you really know what you're about to go do when you step onto the field, that's where your confidence comes from. If you're unsure and you haven't put the time in and you really don't know, well, it's not going to go well for you, and so that's the thing that, I leaned on was just, you focus on the preparation. Don't focus on the result. Just go out there and compete and play and trust what you've been coached and go let it go, because at that point it's a game and, you just don't make it bigger than what it is. At that point, hey, you're playing ball and go have fun with it.
But the thing is, man, I can piggyback off of that especially in regards to the preparation, but it's the leadership values of a quarterback. Like people understand how important a quarterback is, but it's a lot of people, man, like fans that watch this are guys that have never like been out there, man, and laced it up like we have. It's like, and Koy, I'm sure you'll agree. It's like, you on the 13 and you got to march 87 yards and it's 1 minute and 7 seconds left on the damn clock. And it's like, it's 1st and 10 and you in the huddle with your guys and you like, hey, we putting to punch this shit in. And here's the thing. They look at you and they believe you.
Right.
You understand what I'm saying?
Oh yeah.
They believe you. Right. That's the mesmerizing the thing I've always looked at as far as a quarterback is the guy, man, that these boys, man, will break their arms and their legs for. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
It's that mystique around it, man. it was a man. You guys remember? T, what was it? What was the movie, man? With Jamie Foxx. He played Willie Beeman, and it was
The
this.
pro.
It was the.
Oh
It was this.
yeah.
Any given Sunday.
Given
Any given
Sunday.
Sunday.
It was no when you get a chance, you guys or those you are watching, go back and look. And this is what I mean by the quarterback position. Him and Al Pacino were having a conversation, and he was trying to explain to Willie Beeman about the importance of what a quarterback is, right? And if I find it, we'll repost it. See, I'll find it and send it to you, man. But it's that preparation, but it's about that leadership and your guys like truly believing in you, man, and getting behind you, man.
Yeah, and that part of it, I feel, is built way before you step onto the field. You know,
Facts.
the relationships you're building. You know, when you're with your guys and all that off the field, and then when you're in the weight room, when you're working, when you're doing all those things, that's really where you build those relationships to where people trust, you know, what you're about. And so that is so important, you know, at the quarterback position is you're right. They have to trust you. They have to believe in you, and you got to give them something to believe in. You know, that's the part of it is you have to give them something to trust, give them something to believe in. So when you step out there, we're all on the same page, you know, and so that is, I mean, that's a big deal, and that's, you know, you look at Tom Brady and all those guys, man. I mean, that's what makes them who they are.
That's
Great leaders.
amazing, Coach. How do you determine as a coach if a young man's ready to take that seat at the head of the table?
You know, I really think, you know, you see on the field and around, you see how the team and guys respond around the guys, you know, and all of those kind of things. And then
So you're
um,
watching the
you're
team.
watching, you know, and you're
Okay.
paying attention to the team and all of those kind of things. And but at the end of the day, also, you know, the guy that's performing in those critical situations, you know, and because that's what it comes down to is, you know, everybody can operate when it's easy, when it's everything happens perfect, right? But it's in those moments where things get a little tough. Things aren't happening perfect and all of that kind of stuff. And somebody that can rally the group and turn that around, you know, is it's a big deal, you know, and you kind of find out who your guy is at that point.
Yes, indeed. And I got goosebumps right there because that's the type of player you were, just kind of a backyard, you know, find a way type of player. And I love it. Q, we're going to start with you on the next section of the show. And if you're rocking with the Locker Room Show, thank you for joining us live. I know we got started a little late, but I told you it was going to be worth the wait. So thank you for joining us live. Guru. We got the NIL, and obviously with the NIL, you know, I can go poach whoever I want. If I see somebody that should be playing at a higher level, I could go talk to the family and see if they want to get a bag and move on up. And, you know, back in the day, we had some ballers like Koy's brother that were in lower level G5 conferences. Do we ever see the Marshall Falks, the Ty Detmers, the Byron Leftwiches in the G5 anymore, Guru?
If you do, it's not for long, right? It's one of those things where, man, these kids now, they might be there a year. And if you're a dog, man, they're putting up numbers, man, and they're going to get a bag you know, elsewhere, man. That's just this how it's been. It's like we always say, T, it's no brotherhood development, right? It's great these kids are getting paid, but really miss out on developing relationships, man, with their fellow teammates. Because, man, it's every year or two, man. As long as you're in college, man, you got a new set of guys that you have to readjust to, man, in camping throughout the season.
Okay. You know, your brother was in, I believe they were in the WAC conference. I think they were playing Marshall Falk and them when your brother was
Yep.
at BYU. Boy, those were some great
Yep.
games.
Oh yeah.
Man,
Do you
man.
think we ever see a Heisman from a G5 team, or you
Man,
think those days are done?
you know, I mean, I guess there's always that possibility, but man, it's going to be really tough now because, like you said, you have a good season, a quality season, you're going to be picked up in the portal, and so for somebody to have that good season and then follow it with where they really go off, it doesn't seem like it'll happen, but I'm sure there will be an exception somewhere, and but it's just. I think it's really tough for somebody to go out there and have that one year, that one big year, and go get a Heisman Trophy like that. I mean, but somebody might, but I really think it's just a really tough thing to do.
Yeah, I think Ashton Genty, not too long ago, a couple years ago,
Yep.
Ashton Genty got close. But to your point, it's one big year, and then the follow-up year is
Yep.
kind of the Heisman year. You need a setup year, and they're gonna poach you
Yeah.
after that
Yep.
setup year. So
Yeah,
no, that's
it's
good
over
right
after
there,
that.
you guys.
They coming
After
after
that
that.
year.
Yeah.
Yep. So we're on to our next topic, and we thank you guys for joining us. We got a little time left with the great Koy Detmer. Amazing advice that he's been giving us. We're going to get ready for the Q&A section. So if you have a comment and you're with us live, please get ready to ask your question. We don't want to keep Koy too late because it's a different time zone. But this one's a good one, Koy. I mean, the value of an OC. I mean, you got quarterback talent, you got your O-line, you got your receivers. What's the percentage of the OC's value to how great a quarterback does, in your opinion?
I think it's really important, because I think the quarterback and the offensive coordinator, the play caller, you got to be on the same page and be able to see things the same way. You could have a great play caller, but if the quarterback isn't on the same wavelength with that and his style is different, you may not it may not play out as well as it could. And at the same time, you could have a great athlete, a great quarterback, a great player, and maybe the play calling is maybe not directed in the things that really suit him, and just being off a little bit. It doesn't take much, and so I think it's really important the OC quarterback, that relationship there, and being on the same wavelength, that it's like one mind, and because as a quarterback, you're the coach on the field. And so you have to be in tune with what he's calling, why he's calling it, and be on the same page that way, and when you are, man, it's a lot of fun. I know with Coach Neuheisel out there in Colorado, we really had that kind of thing going on. We'd be talking and I you could picture what he was saying. If I was talking, he could picture what I was saying. And so when you're on the same wavelength like that, man, it makes it a lot of fun.
Yeah. Now you just in the backyard flicking it.
Yeah.
It really, I mean, I can
Yeah.
only imagine, man.
Oh, yeah.
When you watching your QB, even though we on D, you can tell when you're on the rhythm, like, oh, he out here playing.
Yep. Yep.
It's in a rhythm, and
Oh,
it's
yeah.
like you in the backyard.
Yep. No, exactly. And
Yeah,
you
it's a
get to,
beautiful thing, man.
yep, you get to that point where you already kind of know what the next call is going to be. You know what I mean? When you're flowing like that, you get on the same page,
Mm-hmm.
because of course you're talking on the sideline, next drive, here's what we're coming with, and all those kind of things. And you really, when a play caller and the quarterback are on the same page like that, it really starts happening like that, and it's a lot of fun.
I love it right there,
The
and
one
that's what
thing I
it's all about.
always wanted to ask a top tier QB like yourself. T, can you hear me?
Yes.
Yep.
T, you guys can hear me still? Okay.
Yeah.
The
Yep.
one thing I always wanted to ask a top tier QB like you is, how did you deal with, receivers are like big babies, right? How did you deal with, because receivers always want the damn ball. So as far as ball distribution, how did you deal with that? Because everybody always wants the ball. It's like, well, damn,
Yeah.
So how did you deal with that, man?
The way I always try to deal with it is when I'm in the huddle calling a play, I'm looking at
Mm,
guys, you know what I mean? Hey, go get this one. And, that kind of thing to try to just keep them
yeah,
engaged and let them know, like, I'm looking at you, like I'm seeing you, and that kind of thing.
yeah,
And so I always tried to have that in play when I'm calling plays. And then you can feel it, right? Because in practice, the other thing is in practice, you try to purposely make sure you're spreading the ball around, and especially when you're running plays on air and
yeah,
doing all those
yeah,
things.
yeah.
And I mean, you are
Mm,
paying attention to that, and making sure your guys aren't out there just running for nothing, and you got to feel that. And
yeah,
so also, if you couple drives go by and somebody hadn't gotten the ball, we're going to communicate with the play caller, and hey,
yeah,
let's
yeah,
try to get him this. If we can
yeah.
get on this hash, let's try to get him a ball. You know what I
That's
mean?
what's
That
up.
kind of
Yeah,
thing. And
yeah,
so because you need them all, and you need them all the
yeah.
time, and because even when they're not the primary, they got to clear out something, or they got to, and if they're not right, it makes the whole thing off. You know what I mean? Then in the run
No,
game, hey, we need them blocking, and
see,
so
now
you
hold
got to
on,
keep them.
boy. No, hold on now. No, hold on. No, you said something great. See, remember this part of the conversation. You receivers, that now listen to who's talking to you. That's why you always run your routes hard, because a guy like this that goes through his progressions will find you. And scouts see that too when you going half-ass on your routes. Always run your routes hard, because a great quarterback like this, he will find you. Just keep running your routes hard. And I see that all the time when I'm scouting young wide receivers and they taking plays off if they feel like, because they're not the number one read. Don't
Right.
do that. If the quarterback is good and he going through his progressions, he will find you. I'm
Yep.
glad you
No, and
said
I see the great Ernest Munoz who got this podcast together and got us the great Koy Detmer. So we see you out of San Antonio, Ernest. But right here, he's saying it. He says Texas QB's DNA is different. I love that, Koy. I mean, he's giving you the insight to how he's managing. He's managing
Yep.
the whole huddle. There's nothing that's not in his back pocket. So I love that, and people have no idea all the things you're managing, right?
Oh yeah, no, it's definitely all kind of different personalities and all that, and we got to all get
Wow.
going on the same path, and
right.
so yeah, no, and that is the thing, and really, your best quarterbacks have to be your best managers that way. They almost psychologists and counselors. That kind of a thing going on, because you have to feel and sense what's going on with your guys, and make sure it's
Yeah,
all staying in one direction, and so that's very important because like I said, I mean, it takes all 11 every play.
yeah.
One guy's going to get the ball, but it takes all 11 to go get something done, for the play to be successful. And so, you're managing that and keeping them all engaged the right way, is a big deal.
Wow, that is huge. You young quarterbacks out there, I mean, that's $1 million worth of game right there. It's not just about your arm strength. There's
Yeah.
many, many more things
Well,
that you need to
it,
focus on.
Well,
yeah. And,
Go ahead.
and
go ahead,
yeah.
Corey.
Okay. Well, for me, especially, I wasn't going to go outrun nobody. I wasn't going to throw the ball 80 yards,
Right.
all that kind of stuff. And so I needed the guys around me to be at their best for me to
Mm-hmm.
be able to function and do the things that I could do. And so that had to be a strength of mine, is trying to just, hey, get the best out of the people around me. And when you do that, you got a chance for success, and they allow you to be able to do what you do. And at the quarterback position, it's everything.
And
Wow.
it agreed. There's one more thing too, and I don't know why I'm saying this is off this is off the subject, but not, because when I saw a clip of you a second ago that popped up, and I saw a deuce, right? I saw a deuce. Here, one more here. Now, here's a shout out to you young running backs. And another thing the guru sees on tape. You need to get better at pass blocking and protecting your QB and picking up the blitz. Because again, just like Ty said, your QB is going to make sure you get your carries. You're going to get your carries. But when it's time for him to step up in the pocket, you make sure you pick that blitz up and you protect your guy. Because a lot of running backs, that's their weak spot, and that's something that will set you apart from the best. Of course, in this game, the game has changed, and we know that you need to be a better receiver. But that's something that's part of the game. And I say that because guys like Deuce, that was an all-around running back. That's something that he did. So that's why I'm bringing it up. But you running backs, man, protect your QB, man, and get better at pass blocking and stepping up and picking that blitz up, dog.
No, 100%, 100%. So, hey, there was a lot. You guys will have to run this one back. A lot of you young athletes, especially if you're a quarterback, there was a lot in that he just said. But we are on to our next topic, you guys, and this is the lightning round. We've got the great Koy Detmer for a couple more minutes here. If you do have a question for Koy, get ready to put it in the comment section, you guys. But we are at the lightning round, and this is a fan favorite portion of the show. This is where we put our guest through a little word association. He's got 60 seconds, you guys, to go through my list. So I've got some people's names on here. I got some either or, and he's going to give us the first thing that comes to his head when I go through my list. So we are about to get after it. Koy, you ready for the lightning round?
Yeah, I'm ready.
Here we go.
All right, baby. Here's the lightning round. Now, Koy, we don't do this just for fun.
Okay.
We actually have a dinner on this, okay?
Okay.
So if you can get to 16 or higher, 16 answered or higher, then it's a dinner on the Guru and I. I know there's some good spots in Texas, so it's a dinner on us. All right?
Okay.
So
all right.
that is it. That is it, and none of you football players can go. This is him and his wife, and none of you football players can go because my budget doesn't go that far. But let's get after it, and we've got the great Koy Detmer, you guys, right there. You see, I never cheat a buffalo. We got him at 0 right there. I'm rooting for you, baby. All right, so first thing that comes to your head, quarterback, we need you to go quick on this one. And then we're going to see how many he gets. Now, he gets one for tech delay because we're in different states. So one for tech delay. So 15 puts him in the mix too. And then we got our special section, the strike it goal section, where he can get 2 more for the trivia. So he's got some options to get to the 16. All right. You ready, Koy?
60 seconds. No huddle. We got it.
Right.
Okay. Here we go.
All right. Let's go, quarterback. All right. Number 1. First thing that comes to your mind, Koy. First thing that comes to your mind. Number 1. Somerset High School. Go.
Big time.
Number 2. Andy Reid.
Oh. Father figure.
Swim with dolphins or hold a boa constrictor?
Hold a boa constrictor.
Chinese food or Mexican food?
Mexican food.
Best receiver you ever played with?
T.O.
Rick Neuheisel.
For sure.
Oh, man. Awesome.
Favorite football movie?
The Program.
Trip to Spain or trip to Dubai?
Spain.
50 seconds. Joe Burrow or Baker Mayfield?
Joe Burrow.
Best defensive player you ever played against?
Ray Lewis.
Celebrity crush growing up?
Oh, man. Here we go.
Do you want to answer, or should I? Are you gonna be sleeping on the couch?
I'll pass.
We'll
on that
give
All right, we'll give him that one. We don't want Coach on the couch. We don't want Coach on the couch. All right, so we'll give him that one. So, all right, you guys. He was rolling. I seen him look to the left, so I said, I gotta say, Coach, I gotta give him out. So right here, 16's the number. Let's see what Coach does. And then once again, we've got the tech delay 1 point, and then also our strike and goal section. So, all right, let's add them up and see what he's got. Number 1, Somerset High School. That's where he's at. His father's a legend there. That's the family business right there. Number 1, Somerset. He says big time. Number 2, Andy Reid, longtime coach for Koy. He says father figure. Number 3, swim with dolphins or hold a boa constrictor. He says, give me the snake, coach. Number 4, Chinese or Mexican. He's going with the Mexicans. Coming out of Texas. I assume so. Number 5, best wide receiver you ever played against. I was interested in this one. He does go with the person I thought he was going to say. T.O. Number 6, Rick Neuheisel, his old head coach. He says awesome. Number 7, favorite football movie growing up. He says The Program. Number 8, trip to Spain or Dubai. He says, let me go to Spain. Number 9, Joe Burrow or Baker Mayfield. He says Joe Burrow. Number 10, best defensive player you ever played against. He says Ray Lewis. And then number 13, celebrity crush, or I don't know if we're 12, 13. We're going to say 13. Celebrity crush. He gets the points regardless. With the tech delay, guys, we're going to say he's at 14. We're going to put him in the mix. I don't know if Coach was counting right, but he's a Buffalo, so we're going to put him in the mix. All right, so you're at 14, and we've got the trivia question, the strike and goal question. If you do have a comment or a question for Coach, put it in now, because this is going to be the end of the show. So if you got a question for Coach, put it in the comment section now. But this is the strike and goal question. He's got a chance to tie. He's got a chance to tie our leader, Darius Bell and Zaire Young. So let's see what he can do. Q, do you have our question for our guest?
Absolutely, absolutely. So the strike and goal trivia question for the night is, who had the most Big 12 TD passes ever, right? So going left to right, we got Graham Harrell with Texas Tech. We got Colt McCoy, Texas legend. Colt was a bad boy. I remember that. Chase Daniels from Missouri, or Baker when he was at OU. So who we got?
The most touchdown passes
ever. Yeah.
Man. God. Oh, man. Maybe you said Baker Mayfield for a reason. I'm going to go with Baker.
See who we got.
We have Graham Harrell.
Oh, man.
134.
Yeah.
134.
Career Big 12. Yeah, man. Tech used to flick it, man.
Yeah, they did. Yeah.
They going 5 wide all
Yeah.
night.
Yep.
Well, I think was he Crabtree? Was he Crabtree's quarterback?
I think.
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
Yeah, so that makes sense. Yeah, they going empty all night.
Oh, yeah.
Yes, indeed. So Graham Harrell.
Yeah, man, if you were running back in Tech, you wasted your time back there. You got to transfer.
Oh, man. That's
Koy,
funny.
we appreciate you tonight. I do see a couple of questions. Is it okay? Do you have time for 1 or 2 questions?
Oh, yeah. Yeah, no problem.
Okay,
That's
great. So I see the great Boiler Matt coming in, and he says, what worries do coaches keep to themselves because they don't want to burden the team or anyone else? That's a good one.
That's a great question.
You know, I think the things that we manage, you know, when you're talking about the different, you know, all the different personalities, right, that are on a team. And, you know, you have things come up. Life happens for people. You know what I mean? And so there's a lot of those things that, that, you know, that are going on and happening, and you're managing all that, you know? And so there's just a lot in that realm of things that, you know, we hear it, we deal with. Like I was saying, you know, you're a psychologist, you're a counselor, you're all those kind of things. And so I think managing all of those off the field kind of issues and things that are going on is a big part of it, you know, and we just keep the team focused on the team and on the field, and them doing the right things off the field, but keep everybody directed in one way and not bring outside distractions or problems into the team. That's a
Mm,
big deal.
mm.
Yeah, that's a big one right there. And then we've got another question right here from the great Rolando. Thank you for joining us, Rolando. He says, "What's the best piece of advice that you would give to a young up and coming player?"
Mm.
At a high school level, I think the big deal is, you know, putting in the work. Number one, you got to show up, right? Your attendance, and doing things. Be an everyday guy. That's a big deal. It's something that we talk about is the consistency. You can't have a great day or a great week, and then you turn around the next day or the next week, and where are you? And that kind of thing. You got to stack days. And be that same person all the time, and show up and put in the time, put in the effort. Also, um, really buy into whatever your program is, because your team, your group, you personally are only going to be as good as you buying into what you do. You know what I mean? And so you really have to lock in and do that and not have the deal of, well, I wish we did this or wish we did that. No, we do what we do, lock in and make it right, and so
Yeah.
I think that's a big deal right there.
Wow. Well, hey, you guys, this was huge. One more before we let you go. What separates the college level from the NFL, in your opinion? What was that
Mm.
separation?
There's, I would say, a couple of things. So, on the off the field side, in college, your college coaches are, kind of become a little bit like parents and things
Yeah.
like that, where they're on top of you and you have an itinerary and everybody's got class and you have advisors and all that for the academic side of things. And so you have a big support group that you just kind of follow the group, right? And there's a lot of structure there that keeps you on track. When you go to the next level, you're on your own. You know what I mean? And so you've got to be a professional yourself and have the self discipline and the self motivation and all that to, there's not that same structure off the field. Yes, you're going to have the itineraries, you're going to have a schedule, it's going to be very structured at that point, but off the field, you're really on your own that way. In terms of on the field, one thing I felt is the pro game is a lot faster than the college level, and I've felt that right away. First mini camp, you snap the ball and everybody's moving. It's happening, and so I think people don't realize, there's fast guys in college, but I'm saying the speed of play, there's no hesitation. You know what I
Yeah.
mean? And
Yeah.
so everybody is you're not just anticipating, you're anticipating the anticipation. You know what I
Right.
mean? And so you got guys playing at a real high level that way that they're trying to get the edge on the other guy. And, and you got guys that have been doing it for 8, 10 years that, at a high level, and their thought process is so much faster, and so that is the thing that
They're
I think
savants.
people,
You got you. You are a
yeah,
savant.
Yeah. Yeah.
yeah, yeah.
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 I think people don't realize just how much faster the game is played, and then it's that deal where, and the part of the reason why it's played so much faster is because everybody wakes up every day. Your job is to be the best football player you can be. That's your job. You go to bed at night, you wake up, and you're trying to be the best football player you can be. Study film, the nutrition, the workout, like all the distractions, eliminating them. It is, you're locked in, and so people do it guys do it at a real high level. Things that you see on film at the pro level and that you're looking for indicators and all those things. Man, there's some little things that go a long ways, those little details. And so that's why the game starts to get played so much faster. you know, and I felt that right away in mini camps, you know, and I think
Yeah.
everybody does.
That progression got to get a half a second quicker.
Yeah.
Them DNs are coming a half a
Yeah.
second quicker. Yeah,
No,
I feel you.
exactly.
Yeah, real
Exactly.
talk. I feel that.
Yep.
Yes,
Yep.
indeed. I see the great Coach Hughes saying it's a real business. Yes, it is. And I know your son is coming up in the business on the defensive side, Coach. So thank you for joining us. But hey, we're gonna let Coach Detmer get out of here. I mean, once again, this is somebody high-level player himself. Comes from football royalty, you guys, and now he's giving back. He's giving back. So we really, and plus he's a buff too. So we really appreciate you, Koy, and we wish you the best of luck, buddy.
Definitely.
Man, I appreciate it. Yeah, Coach T and Q, man, appreciate y'all having me on, and y'all got a great show here.
Appreciate it, man. Anytime.
Yeah.
Thank you.
All right, man. Good to see y'all.
All right.
Definitely.
All right. So, hey, that is the great Koy Detmer. I mean, Q, come on, man.
Hey,
we
man.
came up in the Big 12.
It's
dude.
real. Yeah,
and,
man.
you know, he left. We were ships passing. You know, he was leaving CU as I was coming in. But, I mean, the Ray Caruso of the world, the Phil Savoys of the world. I mean, they were catching passes and going to the league because of that, man.
Yeah. And then his brother, too. You got to think, man, his brother at BYU, his brother took the torch from Jim McMahon at BYU. You know what I'm saying?
Who took the torch from Steve Young?
Young, right? So it's like, dude. Yeah, man. Yeah, it's that was some major lineage, man, at BYU at the quarterback position. You know, because all of them came out like bam, 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 all right behind each other. So yeah, man. I mean, it's that's a football family.
Could you picture, dude, being little bro and your big bro wins the Heisman?
Nah, dog. I can't wrap my mind around it. But like I said earlier,
it's at the house. Like the
you're
Heisman's
right. Just sitting in mom in their living room, right? That's crazy, right? But the thing is, man, it's just like I was saying, man. The bar was set. The bar was set. You know, so Koy knew what he had to do. He knew once, man, I'm in this for real, like my brother. The bar was set, and he went from there.
Yes, indeed. No, great quarterback and great high school coach, you guys. And we see a bunch of his players coming in. You guys got a great coach. See the wife coming in saying great show, so appreciate that. Coach Munoz saying part 2. Yes, indeed, part 2 after the state championship. We got to bring Koy back. And no, that was one hell of a show, you guys. If you have not already and you're joining us for the first time, please hit that subscribe button. I know tonight was great value for a lot of you guys, but we do this on a weekly basis, baby. We've had the Ronnie Lotts of the world, the Lee Steinbergs of the world. We brought in some dogs before Koy, and this is just a cherry on top. So make sure you hit that subscribe button. And then if you are a young athlete that is looking for some support, looking for some guidance to get to the next level, then definitely check out beforeyouGoPro.com. And I know, Q, you got something for the audience too, right?
Absolutely, man. My book has been out for a little while, an ebook, man. Great read. Again, just, man, we always on every episode, at least a little bit of touching on NIL and the importance of it and understanding it. And the book just kind of gives a little overview, man, the importance of just understanding the importance of understanding your trademark, man. Make sure you get that in place and understand why you need it. Yeah, personal branding, man. You have to understand it. That's why we're here. We're trying to teach you this is a business now. The game has changed. You are your own brand.
You guys are pros earlier. And also with that note, check out NILLLC.org. NILLLC.org. Get some free advice, get some free education, learn about this NIL thing, because some of you guys can actually pay for your college. You're on a partial. If you use NIL the right way and you know what you're doing, that can take care of the other portion for you. Right. So that's what we're going to teach you guys. So, hey, great show tonight. Guru, anything for the good people before we get out of here?
Yeah, man, it's your school's almost over with for you seniors about to walk across that stage. And man, get ready to strap it up, man. Definitely. Juniors about to be seniors. This is it, man. This is it.
Training camp is 4 months.
Training camp in 4 months. training camp in 4 months, man. But like specifically for you high school juniors, this is it, man. And see, you can tell me right now, correct me if I'm lying, you can almost run your whole senior year through your head right now on this show. I know I can. I can almost run almost every game through my head just like that. That's how much your last year in high school will stay with you. It's guys we've had on gold jacket guys that still think about, damn, I got to the league and was a first rounder, and I still wish I could go back and have that play
That one
back
game.
from high school. Yep.
That
So
state championship game.
yeah, that's how important it is, man, to try to make sure you go out on top, man, as a senior in high school, man, the best you can. So I tip my hat to you juniors, man, but this is it. That's all I got.
Hey, I'm going to leave it at that, baby. We'll see you at the top. Have a good one.